Fabrizio Romano has just dropped a bombshell about Arsenal's next striker. Meanwhile, the club confirms they are targeting an incredible player labeled as the next Martin Odegaard. And to conclude, Arsenal has finally agreed on a deal with the £51 million star. All this and more you can check out now with the top Arsenal news directly from Emirates Stadium, so make sure to like the video and check your subscription so you don't miss any updates. And without further ado, let's get started. Benjamin Šeško remains a key target for Arsenal, with the RB Leipzig striker continuing to draw admiration from Mikel Arteta's side. Despite Arsenal's strong efforts to secure his signature last summer, Šeško opted to commit his future to the Bundesliga club, signing an extension that ties him to Leipzig until 2029. His decision to stay was a blow to several Premier League clubs who had been monitoring him closely. Nevertheless, Arsenal's interest in Šeško hasn't waned. The Gunners view the 20-year-old as a potential long-term solution for their attack, given his combination of height, speed, and clinical finishing. The Slovenian international has been compared to players like Erling Haaland due to his imposing physicality and style of play. With Arsenal still seeking a striker to complement their forward line, Šeško remains firmly on their radar. Whether Leipzig would entertain offers in the near future remains to be seen, but Arsenal's admiration for the young star suggests they'll be ready to act if the opportunity arises. What Arsenal have to do to sign Benjamin Sesko is easily one of RB Leipzig's standout players right now. The Slovenian forward has been on fire this season, racking up an impressive 16 goal contributions in just 25 games for the Bundesliga side. To top it off, he's been in red-hot form lately, netting 5 goals in his last 5 matches. Talk about a player who knows how to deliver. It's no wonder everyone's talking about him. With his talent, some of Europe's biggest clubs are already keeping a close eye on him, and for good reason. He's shaping up to be a future superstar. But if you're hoping to see him in an Arsenal shirt anytime soon, don't hold your breath. TBR Football reported that Leipzig isn't even entertaining the idea of letting Sesko leave this January, so a mid-season move looks totally off the table. Even transfer guru Fabrizio Romano chimed in, confirming that Leipzig isn't budging unless Arsenal, or anyone else for that matter, is ready to splash some serious cash. We're talking crazy money levels here, so unless Arteta decides to break the bank in the next few days, Sesko's staying put for now. He said in a video on his YouTube channel, Red Bull Leipzig absolutely want to keep the player at the club. Red Bull Leipzig means the CEO, Oliver Mintzlaff, Jurgen Klopp, who is a big face of the project, and obviously the manager Marco Rose. They all want together to continue with Benjamin Sesko until the end of the season. The release clause is not valid now. The only way to change this story is for Arsenal to go there and put crazy money on the table. Completely crazy. In that case, things happen. Otherwise, forget about a loan. Forget about a loan with buy option. But in general, Red Bull Leipzig, from what I'm told, consider this story more than difficult, more than complicated for January. They want to keep the player, and so it's not going to be easy. Arsenal looking to beat rivals to sign player labeled as the next Martin Odegaard. Arsenal are well aware that they need to bolster their attack if they want to stay competitive across all competitions this season. Mikel Arteta's squad has some serious challenges ahead, starting with a tough match against Unai Emery's Aston Villa, followed by the resumption of their Champions League campaign against Dinamo Zagreb. The team recently rallied behind Gabriel Jesus, who sidelined with an injury, by wearing special shirts in his honor before the North London derby. But it's not just Jesus they're missing. Bukayo Saka and Ethan Nwaneri are also unavailable, leaving some significant gaps in Arsenal's attacking options. According to The Telegraph, whispers from Norway suggest that Arsenal are keen to get ahead of the competition in the race to sign rising star Sverre Nypan. The young midfielder from Rosenborg is drawing plenty of attention, and his club seems open to letting him go for a fee in the region of £10 million. Interestingly, Nypan shares the same agent as Erling Haaland, which could play a role in how negotiations unfold. At just 18 years old, Nypan already has an impressive track record. He netted 8 goals in 28 appearances for Rosenborg during the 2024 season, and has been compared to Arsenal skipper Martin Odegaard for his playmaking abilities and creativity on the ball. Having already represented Norway's under-21 team 4 times, Nypan is clearly a talent on the rise and is being closely watched by several top European clubs. Arsenal, however, seem determined to make the first move. Arsenal aren't just looking at Sverre Nypan in midfield, they're also making moves for Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad, which was once Mikel Merino's old club. The Gunners are clearly targeting several midfield options, which could signal a bigger plan to revamp the entire midfield, especially with both Thomas Partey and Jorginho's futures uncertain. Jorginho, despite being linked with a move to Brazil this January, still seems to be in Mikel Arteta's plans, having featured in Arsenal's recent FA Cup match against Manchester United. However, with several attacking players rumored to be on Arsenal's radar, Arteta understands how important it is to bring in more quality up front. Adding that extra spark in the final third could be crucial for keeping the team's hopes of silverware alive in the rest of the season. Arsenal agree personal terms with Martin Zubimendi. One of the big stories over the past few days has been the news that Arsenal are closing in on a deal to sign Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. The midfielder has been targeted by several big clubs, with the Gunners looking to pip them over the coming weeks. With a release clause that can be triggered for £51 million in the summer, Arsenal will be looking to get all the agreements in place. Fortunately, according to Football Transfers, that appears to be the case, as an agreement on personal terms is claimed to have been reached. Zubimendi will double his salary and earn €80,000, $75,000 per week. Once he makes his move to the Emirates Stadium, it is stated. It comes as a huge potential boost for Arsenal, who will be looking to add further quality in the weeks ahead. Fabrizio Romano gives Miles Lewis-Skelly contract update. Fabrizio Romano has provided an update on the contract situation of Arsenal's Miles Lewis-Skelly. The 18-year-old, who signed a new deal back in July 2024, looks set to be rewarded for his impressive performances so far. Having established himself as a reliable first-team player, Lewis-Skelly has become a regular feature in Mikel Arteta's plans. With his growing importance to the squad, it seems Arsenal are preparing to offer him a new contract. This new deal will likely reflect his increasing role in the team, with an expected pay rise to match his development and continued contributions. Arsenal Ishak moved to sign unbelievable Premier League striker who scored more goals than Bukayo Saka. Arsenal are continuing on their hunt to add a forward to their ranks over the January transfer window, with Mikel Arteta admitting that business needs to be completed. It comes amid a crisis with injuries and a drop in scoring form for some of the most important players at the Emirates Stadium. While Bukayo Saka is out for a while, the latest ACL injury to Gabriel Jesus only depletes the options available to Mikel Arteta further. With very few senior attacking players left, Arsenal are turning to the transfer market to see which players could strengthen the side. However, there is a new link emerging surrounding one Premier League striker who could be a bargain. Plenty of different players have been linked with a switch to Arsenal to help reinforce the forward ranks for the rest of the season. The latest of which is Brentford striker Yohan Wissa, as the Telegraph reports that the Gunners are monitoring a potential switch for the DR Congo international. The report claims that Mikel Arteta admires the fact that the forward can play across the front line, featuring as a striker and on both flanks. Arsenal aren't alone in their interest though, with rivals Nottingham Forest also showing interest in Wissa this month. The 28-year-old has 11 goals in the Premier League this season, more than double that of Bukayo Saka on 5 for the campaign. Wissa is entering the peak of his career and has shown he is more than capable of being a clinical presence in the division. Along with Wissa, Arsenal have been linked with Brian Mbeumo of Brentford, a teammate in the forward ranks. What Thomas Frank thinks about Arsenal transfer target Yohan Wissa. With Arsenal showing interest in Wissa, it's fair to say that Brentford boss Thomas Frank would be able to give an honest review of one of his star players. Speaking earlier this season about the impact of the forward, he told the press, "I think Wissa has been an absolutely fantastic signing. I think we signed him for €8 million, something like that. It's incredible. 30 goals in the Premier League over less than 3.5 seasons. Not many clubs or players can say that on, so I think it's an unbelievable signing." While Frank is always naturally going to give credit to his players, he does display exactly where Brentford have done well with Wissa. Selling him on for profit is the next potential step, with Arsenal looming large over the prospect. Well folks, those were the main news for today. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated on everything happening with our beloved team, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for joining us, and until the next video.